I love Beverly Hills. I love Potomac. Yeah, I'm excited to see Atlanta now because I don't know her very, very well, but I do have a relationship with their newest housewife.
Which
Um,
one?
Sanya
Yeah.
Richardson. She's an Olympian. I've
Yeah.
interviewed her before on my new show. She's got a beautiful family and she's dope. She called me before she accepted the offer, just to kind of get my recommendation. I gave her the good, bad, and ugly with ultimately you should take it. And she did take it. And then she called me at some point during filming to kind of discuss, a challenge. And we talked through it. But I can't wait to see. Because she's very different. That's a very different. So when we talk about personality and cultural differences, it doesn't have to be interracial. She is a very different housewife for Atlanta. So
How so? I mean, she's left with so she has Kenya and she has Marlo now.
yeah, and I love all those ladies and Drew and Candy's always iconic, but I would say Sonya's different. Number one, she's coming into reality TV for the first time as a grown ass woman. This woman is literally, I'm not going to put her age out there, but she's grown as hell. She's also been on the global stage in high visibility for most of her adult life. She's just coming in different. She's not a lot of housewives we've seen on all the franchises where it's like this is their introduction to another level of anything. I mean,
Right.
she's the real to Holyfield. Yeah.
In what type of personality? How else is she different? Is she
She's different personality wise. She's just not really with the shits. That's what I mean. Not that she can't have fun. People misconstrue. She can have a great time. She's just not about to let nobody play in her face at all.
And when she called you to do, is there any particular advice you gave her? Just one thing of
the one thing I told her, which was told to me actually by Dr. Simone at Married to Medicine, Atlanta, everything that matters to you, say it on camera. That was the big thing because now I know this as going into season 14, God willing, don't let people pull you into off-camera conversations. Don't let people call your phone and have kind of really what I now know to be our pre-production calls. You know what I mean? Or pre-production, beats.
what do you mean?
You know what I mean, David. What I mean is if some shit pops off, whatever, y'all have a scene, y'all have a dinner, you have a thing, an event. Let the fallout be the fallout on camera.
Yeah.
Don't get sucked and really kind of tricked into siloed conversations with individual castmates that are about group scene.
Meaning you would go home and your phone would ring and it would be Luann saying.
And now I know I'm not answering that shit. Girl, I'll see you when I see you when the cameras are up and we will discuss. Because that, especially I think on a cast like Atlanta, is where it gets very messy. Because now, you understand this as an attorney, of course, plausible deniability kicks in. People are like, I don't remember that. And then, oh, really? Roll tape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to do it all on camera.
Yeah.
So you gave her that advice.
Absolutely.
That's good advice.
Yeah, Dr. Simone gave me that. And I mostly follow that. Again, I don't think that was our issue for season 13 RHONY. But I think it's been an issue in other franchise.
And you got a call from this new Atlanta housewife during the season that she was having an issue with someone.
Yeah, her first and only season. Yeah, and I, she's, and she's also very boss in her own right. So she had an instinct as to how to handle it. I just affirmed her choice.
I think Atlanta's going to come back strong. I think they had an off season last season.
Mm-hmm. And I think, listen, again, I don't really know what people wanted for that particular time period we were in. We were in a pandemic. People were complaining about Portia's protesting. Well, what the fuck do you want from her? She's the granddaughter of a civil rights icon. Sorry if you only want to see Thoughtlandia Portia. There's housewives get to have
more
other
Bolo.
Yeah.
I think that's what people were saying.
Oh, they were over Bolo.
No, people wanted
Bolo. More Bolos.
Yes, lots of more Bolo.
Not lots of more
I think they were
Bolo.
saying less Portia protesting, more Bolo. I think that's what the general consensus was. More
people really need to let people live. I get it. I get the housewives is spectacle and fun and games, and it can be all that. But I really relish the day when audiences and fans give space for a little bit more too. This and.
I think it's going to be a good Atlanta. I think
it's going to be a great.
Is back.
Yes, yes. I think it's going to be a great season.
Kenya's. I I love me some Kenya.
Who doesn't? I mean, she's Miss USA.
She understands the assignment.
Yeah, but I kind of think they all do. It's just they have different assignments. Kenya's assignment just, is particularly spicy.
You met Shannon for the first time on Watch What Happens. This was the first time. I did.
Yeah, first time I met her.
What was that like? Did you kiki backstage?
Yeah, I opened the door. And I knocked on the door, and then I opened the door, and she was so gracious. Her boyfriend John was there, her glam squad. She was like, just in her moment, and she was lovely. She was very sweet. She's got that little neuroses energy that a few of the Orange County housewives have, which I find endearing because, again, I was introduced to housewives in Orange County. So that Vicky Gumbel saying, it's cute.
What do you think of this season?
Of Orange County?
Yeah.
Frankly, I hadn't watched it. I don't pretend to. But I did watch the screener. So I watched episode 13. And I feel like it was custom made for me, though, right? Because Shane gets sworn into the bar. Emily's doing the Innocence Project work. Noella's talking about, not having her father present and as a biracial woman. Like, it was like all these things that are very like organically tied to my experience. Yeah. So I enjoyed it. And then the messiness between Gina and Shannon was also relatable to me because I think that notion of like, it actually kind of gave me vibes of Jill Bethany slightly. This notion of someone being the group underdog, which we know to be Gina, them getting to a better place, emotionally, financially, both, all, whatever. And then the greater group now having to develop a new relationship with that person that's not rooted on pity or dependency.
Right.
So there's those notions
that's
of
like a little Gina.
That's
like a little Bethany. Whoops.
Yeah, that stuff that's not. It's like, is it jealousy? Is it just different? Is it I don't know how to deal with you now because you're positioned differently? Yeah, I think that's the best of Housewives.
That makes a lot of sense. Listen, a lot of people don't like this season of Here We Go Again of Orange County. I don't really get it.
So it's not getting canceled.
It's not getting canceled. I don't really get it. Yeah. I think I like a little Heather Dubrow in my life.
I love some Heather Dubrow in my life. I ran into her at a polo match years. It was actually the same polo match I ran into Garcelle Bouvet before her initial Housewives season. Although she had been announced, and Heather was lovely. And I was a random news person.
Lovely to me.
Yeah.
So she does my show. So you know what? I'm very
and
simple.
That's all we
you
can.
Either come on this show and I like you, or you don't come on and I don't like you. It's very simple.
You are so funny.
What are we going to talk to me about Beyond the Edge? Like, I know you got close to Colton.
Very close. Yeah, Colton and I are very close to this day. Mainly because Colton, everybody there was pretty dope. But Colton was somebody who came with extreme vulnerability. Probably our whys were similar. Very much there for our charities, but also very much there because we both felt him, I think, for much more kind of understandable reasons. I mean, we saw a lot of Colton. Colton is responsible for a lot of the shit that he found himself in and finds himself in, and he knows that. But he wanted to tell more of his story, more of his personal story. And obviously we saw that in his Netflix doc, but who he is on Beyond the Edge as a leader, as a teammate, is going to add to the understanding of Colton.
What about, did you get to know Jodie Sweetin at all?
Yeah, I got to know Jodie. I mean, she was probably the person I was most excited to like recognize once we got to the hotel, and like it's like, holy shit, Stephanie Tanner. I grew up on Full House like a lot of people,